And we're back with game number 2 between First Departure and 1-2-3 after what was a 20-minute trouncing there from 1-2-3. Terrorblade is just not the hero, guys. It really isn't. Especially when there's potential for you to get aggro tri-lane like 1-2-3 ran at First Departure. So, with a 1-game lead, 1-2-3 looking to close this series out early, but I'm sure Miracle is not going to go down without a fight. He may have drafted himself into a bit of a pickle in game number 1. The same mistakes won't be happening in game number 2, I hope. Alright, Draft coming out, 1-2-3, sticking with the Tusk and running, again, another hero that works very well with him, Undying. Now the Queen of Pain, a lot of team fight being picked up, and a lot of aggression from 1-2-3. Spirit Breaker, Ancient Apparition, and Storm Spirit. A little bit more setback mid-game dominance for First Departure, potentially, if they manage to survive through the laning phase, doing all right. But I'm really concerned that 1-2-3 is once again just going to own the laning phase, and First Departure won't be able to ever have a chance to come back. Rubik is now picked up for First Departure, hopefully stealing that Tombstone, but DK and Queen of Pain's Scream of Pain and Sonic Wave are decent answers as well. Snowball is alright. First Departure do have one hero that is going to be a bit of a problem here for 1-2-3. Their first two pickups are not very good versus Storm Spirit. Or at least not until you have Blink Dagger on the Tusk, and then he's alright. The Queen of Pain can potentially be good versus the Storm Spirit, but we'll see where that goes. And now Gyrocopter, more team fight for the 1-2-3 team, as they don't really seem to give a damn about a Storm Spirit. What's the problem if you're currently like 5-manning down a tier 2 tower, even if Storm Spirit does have a bit of farm, he can't really do much to stop this snowball from rolling.
10 seconds remaining. Radiant team ban.
So, Silencer is going to be banned away by First Departure. Don't want to let 1-2-3 get their hands on that hero again. While the very common ban of Phantom Lancer. You see that oftentimes being a 3-4 ban or even a 5th ban if the carry slot is still open. First Departure, I think, would have been pretty happy to get that one, though there is a lot of AoE clearance on 1-2-3 despite the obvious problems that Phantom Lancer brings. The Queen of Pain, Gyrocopter, I mean, there's so much AoE to be had. It's funny because Gyrocopter and Leshrac were first originally seen as pretty good counters to the Phantom Lancer in the early days of his rise up in the draft, but it turns out that their AoE is kind of insubstantial. Phantom Rush, as well as Doppelgang, allows the Phantom Lancer to close the distance and refresh those illusions for him to be able to jump onto you, and his incredible amount of damage he can dish out, especially to heroes that don't have BKB, can leave the Gyrocopter and the Leshrac a little bit exposed, especially the Leshrac, who's so dependent on his mana.
Radiant team pick.
Anti-Mage now for First Departure. I like this hero simply because it comes online relatively early, but there is still a serious gap in the first 25 minutes where they really do not have any control. First Departure are running an Ancient Apparition who can be questionable as to whether or not his impact in the game is really felt early on. Rubik can definitely do some work, but he needs a team to back him up. Spirit Breaker is the one hero that I really feel confident about First Departure fighting it out in the early game, but Storm Spirit and Anti-Mage both need time, and more time in order to start becoming more of a factor in team fights. Now, in pickoffs, they're perfectly acceptable, and in fact, that's really where First Departure are going to shine the most. Winter Wyvern, the last pickup from 1-2-3. They are going to be running a core Tusk once again. Presumably, a dual lane out from them, Tusk Undying, while the Gyrocopter and Winter Wyvern go ahead and dual lane it up at the bottom. Of course, they can put Winter Wyvern with the Undying Tusk, though I'm not quite so sure it's necessary. It would be nice, but I think it would be better to zone out the Spirit Breaker as the Winter Wyvern and let the Gyrocopter get assured free farm. And I think the Undying Tusk is more than enough to deal with the Animage. In fact, this exact duo I've run a couple of times against Animages, and it works out pretty well in that you just kind of spam out decays and right-click the Animage anytime he comes forward for CS. While you may not be able to ever get a kill on him because of his natural mobility of Blink, you can still keep him from getting a lot of CS, and of course the supports are kind of food for you, and that's what the biggest aim of the Undying and Tuskar lane is going to be, is just getting easy levels and gold off of the supports while making sure the carry doesn't get too much farm. But as I say that, an early boots pickup from Ben the Gyrocopter is heading up to top lane. I'm not sure what to feel about this. 1, 2, 3. Okay, they're running a full aggro tri-lane. Winter Wyvern, Undying, and Gyrocopter. They're going to put the Tusk at bottom against the Spirit Breaker. Kind of felt like they maybe could have won both of their dual lanes, and just the middle lane, Queen of Pain versus Storm Spirit, is kind of just a fine matchup through and through. Can go either way. But apparently not. They feel safer with a full aggro tri-lane. Now, I'm presuming First Departure are just going to dodge this, or maybe change up their lanes to be something a bit more interesting. 1, 2, 3 have the serious advantage, though, that they do not need to rotate their heroes all that much. For example, if there is a full rotation from First Departure, all their tri-lane goes bottom, then all they have to do is rotate maybe the Undying, maybe just the Undying, perhaps the Winter Wyvern included, and just leave the Gyrocopter to free farm top lane. Either way, movement is probably going to be the key for First Departure to provide the upset in this, what is a very obvious one-sided laning phase once again. So sure enough, they put the Spirit Breaker here. Hopefully Kang doesn't feed away an early first blood, but somehow I doubt that. He's already spotted out both the Rubik and Ancient Apparition as this ward dies, so very unlikely to get picked off. And Undying is already shambling on over to help out the Tusk. So Gyrocopter free farm. Ooh, what's Undying doing here? Oh, he's bringing counters to him. He brought the last counter ward, so they're going to go ahead and clear through this ward stack. This does come as a bit of a slowdown period, though. First Departure are going to get a lot of farm in the first couple of seconds, or first couple of minutes of this matchup, and with the Undying only just now getting into experience range, and the Tusk only getting about half of the experience in lane so far. Oh, Yabate actually gets picked off there in the middle lane. Looks like a creep manages to pick up the CS. And he will go first down. Anyway, the Undying kind of needs his, they need both Snowball and Ice Shards usually to be able to get these kills. Pelosin, yeah, they're just going to burn out the mana of the Undying. And this will leave them with pretty much no real way. In fact, if anything, Kang may end up going down. They turn on to Miracle now. He needs another big right click and perhaps another decay as well. He's got the mango to eat if necessary. Miracle gets a right click and the decay, another right click, and he actually gets both. Pelosin could be the next target. He throws down a tombstone as he picks up his level 2. He's got another decay to throw out, and Pelosin hit by the ice shard, so will Lubby. And the snowball, ooh, whoops, that was actually used on the range creep. Okay. Still, though, good recovery there from 1, 2, 3 after what was a bit over aggression. So the Undying, especially picking up all that CS, means he can get a very early level 2 tombstone, or perhaps the Rip. We'll see where he goes. Sometimes Soul Rip is the better ability to get. At level 3, it's just kind of situational. Do you need the more burst damage, or do you prefer the AoE of the Tombstone? For example, if they really thought they could kill the Animage at some point in time, Soul Rip is preferred, right? Because the Tombstone's damage wouldn't really do anything there. Minerva pushing back the Spirit Breaker, who's going to go for a charm, looks like, at the bottom lane. Now, the Ice Shards has already been laid out. They don't throw out the Tombstone, though. They're actually going to try and, I think, heal the Undying up first before they really go. Double decay, Undying does have to be careful with his mana, though. He wants to make sure he always has Tombstone up, so there's no chance of the enemy team getting aggressive on him. But for now, he's okay. Yamate, who did feed away the early kill there, almost actually picked up a kill on Chivix. 35 HP is all that's left on him. Well, this is a little awkward. Spirit Breaker does have a charge to get away if necessary, and it may be. In fact, yeah, the Rocket Barrage goes out, not quite enough damage, and he will be able to charge away. Meanwhile, bottom lane, they already get a kill on one support. The secondary support also goes down. Miracle, of course, as always, is going to be able to survive. And Tootie is still going to die. It looks like he actually canceled his charge. We'll go down to the Gyrocopter, who ends up catching up with him with Phase Boots, and 1, 2, 3, pick up the kill in middle lane, too. It just doesn't stop. It's disaster everywhere you look for First Departure. So laning phase started out okay, but now as we get into the full swing of things, you can see how drastically one-sided it is in the side lanes at the very least. Middle lane, though, that's purely Yamate, making the big plays against Chibix's Storm Spirit. I'm sorry, is it Chibix playing Storm Spirit? Yeah, it is. Of course it is. So now the supports just rotate around, but what can they do? They're really not good roaming heroes anyway. So while we wait for Chibix to come back, level 4, verging on level 5, while Queen of Pain already has her level 6. This sort of situation, it requires the Rubik to sit behind Chibix at all times, because the Queen of Pain could easily get a kill on the Storm Spirit. In fact, if anything, I would say that 1, 2, 3 could probably rotate a hero over. Maybe like the Winter Wyvern, just to ensure that even if it is a support sitting behind the Storm Spirit, they can still win that matchup and kill Storm. Meanwhile, the Gyrocopter doesn't really need much help. In fact, if anything, he would prefer the solo experience right now in order to get those extra levels in Rocket Barrage to truly threaten the Spirit Breaker, who's only level 4 right now, as opposed to Gyrocopter, soon to be level 5. Meanwhile, Miracle is top of the board in CS right now, but that's probably not going to last for long if he's constantly dealing with an Undying and Tusk in his face. Do 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 bum ba-dum bum 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 bum. Effigy time, but we've got no effigies to work with. First Departure, give me a little bit more. Dem swaps pounce Magnus. Alright, that's clearly in reference to something, I don't know. The one and only Miracle Naga Siren. Remember when Miracle was all the rage once upon a time? Still an excellent player, just hasn't managed to seem really turn that vehicle skill that he had in one aspect of the game into a successful team, unfortunately. See, maybe 1, 2, 3 is going to hit me up with something a little bit better here. Sanctus Labira. No idea what that means, but it sounds Latin. What do we got here? Shackle shot. Shackle shot. Alright, that's pretty boring. Got a Pudge jumping in the air. Next level Pudge, Yamate says. Our next one. Juggernaut. Yeah. Ah! It Juggernaut. And, oh, there's our last effigy. Seems to be, an effigy of a building of some sort. Wow. So amazing. To the crystal. Hey, blueberries. The blueberries? I'm gonna say that's blueberries. They're round. They're blue. They're growing on a plant. Blueberries. Oh, probably not. They're flowers. Just like this is supposed to be flowers. Dem textures, though. Textures. Ooh, Juggernaut. Juggernaut! Amputa. Alright, well, hopefully. This pause doesn't last too long. In the meantime, I hope you enjoy the valuable lessons that Showcase mode gives us. What are you looking at, Gyrocopter? You're looking at this dead creep? You're looking at your dead creep, buddy? Look at him, he's so sad! He's just tired. He's just tired, Gyrocopter, that's all. He's just taking a little nap. Yeah, see his eyes are still lit up. I guess. Is the word. Mask. Is there anything underneath the trousers? Nope. A black endless void. What the hell is that vest? Why does it look like a mouth? Armor of the Mage Slayer. Fuck. The shit is this? That being said, I love this headpiece. Badass. What a mohawk. Toilet? Oh my god, kill me. Alright, we're ready to go. We're ready to go. Alright, so we have a rotation out from first departure. Actually, yeah, Pelosian's dead. I hope Stormseer doesn't die middle while we watch this.
Is under attack.
Because, like, at any point in time, Yamate can go for the kill, right? Well, not any point in time. He doesn't quite have enough mana for it. Maybe once the bottle gets back to him. Bottom lane, Miracle should always be fine against this lane, unless he somehow gets surprised by the damage, which just seems very unlikely. Besides, every single time he chips away at their mana, he lessens their ability to really go on Miracle. As you can see, he just battles it out with them in order to make sure he takes all of their mana. All of it. Every last step. Lubby, you're gonna have to Fate Bolt that, my friend. Yeah. I've done that plenty of time. You pull a little bit too early and you're like, oh crap, the creeps have to die. You just gotta throw out your nuke, even if it does cost some of the costly mana. So Queen of Pain looks like she was looking for stacks. The Storm Spirit, though, already clearing through those and back to base. Not quite level 6, though. I feel like they kind of need to put now Gyrocopter versus the Animage and rotate to the Tusk and Undying elsewhere. Because, like, the early, like, decay and right-click him that I was talking about early on, like, that works for the first couple of minutes. That's not going to work anymore now that Miracle actually has full Poor Man Shield and decent amount of regen. Spirit Breaker, careful of your positioning, my friend. Rocket Barrage will bring him down to half. Now they're actually going to turn on to Ben, but he throws out the ultimate, and another Rocket Barrage potentially on its way. No, he actually doesn't have enough mana, and not going to go for the extra kill on the Rubik because he fears that there's heroes on the way, and he's absolutely right. Chivix, though, well, he picked up his level 6 from the creeps. This might actually get him his kill. Gets close enough to be able to throw out one ball lightning right click, but not enough for a secondary one. In fact, Chivix is now blocked out by the zombies, has to use the rest of his mana just to escape. The rest of the team is looking to be able to catch up, though. As you can see, Yamate, he knows they're low. He's got full mana. This is an ample opportunity for him to pick up a couple of kills. Let's see what he gets here. Lubby is low enough for just a quick one. Chivix is now spotted out there. He'll be hit by the dagger, but they're just going to play mind games. Yamate fakes out the ultimate. Chivix now sees him. Yamate tries to blink forward, but hit by the charge, and now telekinesis up. He's going to be stun locked. They actually get a kill of that one. Yamate's rotation doesn't work out at all. Okay. Don't lose your mana too quickly, my friend. He's just trying to do some damage to Miracle. Miracle, though, like, it's fine with him. He'll just pop the health potion and burn the rest of your mana the next time. The idea being that you keep Miracle low enough that your combination could actually kill him. The problem is Tuskar's combination has actually not very much damage. The nukes by itself don't actually do all that much, so he has to bring Miracle super low in order to threaten him in any way away from CSing. Middle lane, what's going on there? Chivix trying to go on the Queen of Pain? Nope, maybe not. Bottom lane, another punch up in the air. Miracle takes it like a champion. But they're actually going for the charge here. Not quite completing it. Now Snowball gets laid out. Miracle will blink ahead. And Kang didn't have the ice shards ready to go. Now has it, but it looks like First Departure have already retreated in time. Top lane's going to go down in the meantime. Ben's got this one in the bag.
Dire's top tower has fallen. Dire's structures are fortified. Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Shard's coming through, but Spirit Breaker? He's actually completing this one. Not sure why. Oh, because the Storm Spirit is here with a long ball lightning jump. Mass TPs are coming in. They will be hit by the ultimate there, the Gyrocopter. This slows Chivix down to a halt and ensures his demise. Yamate just battles out with them. Doesn't even bother using the ultimate to get the kill. No need. No need to put that ability on cooldown. So still the Gyrocopter and Queen of Pain operating the top 2 net worth, but the Animage is beginning to catch up. He's got treads. That's about it. We talked about this earlier, though. Both the Storm Spirit and now the Animate's last pick. There's not a whole lot of lockdown from 1, 2, 3 to actually kill these heroes. So they kind of have to establish a pretty good lead now and build on it by taking towers. Can't afford to be slowing down by too many trade-offs. Regeneration. Yamate, half HP, no mana, and he gets the regen and sneaks out. What a recovery rune. In fact, they're going to go for the kill now on Lubby. Maybe a little bit too far out. Nice toss back there with the telekinesis actually hits the Queen of Pain.
Dire's bottom tower.
But if no one's coming to stop the bottom lane, the tier 1 tower will go down. So that's why they're kind of curbing their aggression, I would say, in the middle lane. They probably could have jumped on that Rubik and gone for the kill, but they just don't see anyone defending bottom, which means very likely there's heroes right here. Snowball up, and the Spirit Breaker actually stops his charge, and they blocked him out. The ultimate doesn't land. It hits on the Rubik in the background, but Spirit Breaker, it's pretty obvious he's dead. In fact, half these heroes aren't even bothering to hit him. They want to go for Lovey instead, who will go down to the Ice Shards. Now, Miracle coming in from the side has his ultimate ready to go. Yamate is low on mana, but high in HP, and Winter Wyvern is low on HP, but high on mana, so he's got no one to go for.
Dire's structures are fortified. Dire's
So a third tower now, dropping all tier 1 towers down by the 12-minute marker. You could see the rapid incline of net worth to the advantage of 1-2-3 because of those drops. It's going to be a mech build here for Kang. Can't say I'm terribly surprised since they are going to be so 5-man focused. Blink Dagger would be nice, obviously, versus the Storm Spirit and the Animage, but if you have enough 5-man power, there's not much need to get kills on Storm Spirit and Animage. You just got to try and end this game fast. A DD now for Yamate. His luck continues. Just finding all the right runes. Meanwhile, the thing that 1-2-3 have actually done very well is made sure that all their towers stay very healthy. Their offlane tower is the lowest, but you could see even Ben earlier was rotating to stop Chibix's aggression. They're not going to give anything up for free, it seems, to First Departure. At least not in the laning phase. Later on, you're probably going to see some trade-offs, tier 2s for tier 1s. Pretty standard when one team wants to go late and the other doesn't. Gyrocopter, meanwhile, is building straight damage. Phase Boots, Ring of Aquila, and now a Yasha build for him. So no early BKB, not an S&Y. Not even treads. Just raw, pure plus damage. A little bit of stacking going on. Yamate wants to farm that one up, I think, after this wave, so he can get his Orchid. And now the shutdown really begins on the Storm Spirit, who's only halfway to building his own Orchid.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's structures are fortified.
Formatting pushing at bottom tier 2 tower, and they have that Orchid ready to go. Where's Yamate going to go with it? Does he join the rest of his team at bottom lane, or does he stop the push at top, where he knows Miracle's at? Looks like the choice is shut down. Legendary carry First Departure from Miracle. The young talent that was such a star for a long time. Unfortunately, Yamate's in a really bad position. Bottom lane, oh, missed out on the fight there. Orchid, there goes the jump. Now Miracle's going to be picked off. A couple more right clicks, and the Orchid will take him out indeed. Back to bottom lane. Kang has made the reinitiation. Looks like the Winter's Curse. And it's just set up a decent fight for them. Even if they lost their Gyrocopter earlier, they may still get this fight going. Actually, Kang is pushed back there from the ultimate of the Spirit Breaker. Turn around, throw out another ultimate, and nice Splinter Blast in order to finish up that Spirit Breaker. Buyback from the Rubik is there as well. And a 3-for-3 exchange. Well, actually, they traded out the Rubik for the Gyrocopter, forced another fight, traded away another 2 heroes for the Spirit Breaker, but they did get the kill on the Animage top, obviously. So, overall, that bottom fight, obviously not worth it for 1-2-3, but the Queen of Pain's pick-off on Miracle was substantial. And Animage has got a long road ahead of him, where he's always going to be shut down by that Manta. Chibix, oh, turned around a little bit. Not the play you wanted to see. Now he's going to try and TP away, but a snowball is there to stop him. Chibix will also find his Orchid shut down quite heavily. He's got 2 of the pieces, but the third still remaining, and Yamate is rapidly approaching his BKB while that second Orchid is being built. The same will probably apply to our Gyrocopter, at least I would assume anyway. He's got 1,600 gold with the Yasha and other items that we mentioned earlier. I would presume BKB would be his next item. There's not too much magic damage on the side of First Departure, but it's always just kind of a solid item. Probably the biggest problem is going to be those damn Ice Blasts and the Ball Lightning in from the Storm Spirit. Charge is actually coming out. The Ice Blast will fade soon. Nice snowball save there, and they're going to turn this one around with the Gyrocopter ultimate. He still gets off an ultimate, though, from the Spirit Breaker. Brings Gyrocopter low. He's going to be chain stunned down. It looks like the burst from the Rubik is enough. They still don't actually get the kill on the Spirit Breaker, unfortunately, as he manages to charge away. Animage, meanwhile, died in the top lane once again, and this is going to be a constant, not consistent, a constant occurrence. As the Orchid is just going to lay waste to him so badly. Jimmy's actually going to be punched up in the air here. Winter's Curse. He got off the Static Remnant right before the Winter's Curse, though, and managed to get the return kill on the Tusk. So the 3-for-1 turns out all right. Give away the Tusk for a Storm Spirit again, making sure that Orchid doesn't get anywhere. But of course, he got a kill, so that was reliable golds. It means that Orchid will probably be picked up with his next life. Anyway, I'm not sure what Miracle's build is here with this Vlad's. I don't disagree with Vlad's. He needed an item that allowed him to farm up jungle a little bit faster. Battle Fury was just not going to cut it, right? But if he goes Battle Fury now, he's delaying the Manta, which is his only way to defend against Orchid. If he goes Manta next, he'll find his farming time drastically slowed down. Pick off on the Undying. Doesn't even throw down the Tombstone because he doesn't want to let them farm it. Orchid on the Storm Spirit actually going for that kill, but actually the heal up is enough, and he managed to survive thanks to the wand. Oh, never mind. He actually does go down the last bit of tick damage of the Stifling Dagger. They do get a return kill, though. Spirit Breaker and Rubik managed to hunt down the Queen of Pain. A lot of trade-offs here. Manta is actually the item for the Gyrocopter. This will help deal with the Orchid still, and potentially deal with the Spirit Breaker as well, but it's primarily the Orchid that's going to help out against the most, I would say. Running away, Gyrocopter now hit by the Spirit Breaker, but Spirit Breaker does not have his ultimate, so not any real offensive things he could do there. Oh, looks like, Undying! Picked up by Chibix. Kang isn't here in time to save his ally. And another pick-off for first departure. 1, 2, 3 gotta be careful about the way this is going. I mean, they held on to a 5,000 gold lead by the 12-minute marker, and now it's dropped down to 2,500. Yes, the Animage is slow to farm, but it's still a bit too many pickoffs that are happening right now. They're not actually getting any objectives. It's been a while since they've taken a tower. Of course, now with the mech up on the Tuskar, things aren't going to be made a lot easier. Same goes with the Manta and the Gyrocopter, though that's not here yet. They're still trying to 5-man this tier 2 anyway.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Spirit Breaker trying to find that charge opportunity. It looks like they want to try and lock down the Winter Wyvern first, but Miracle's already been caught. Sure enough, Winter Wyvern is going to be the first target of the Orchid. Heal up with the mech. Might just keep Minerva alive through all of this. Now he turns around the Winter's Curse on a Storm Spirit, and will slow him down significantly. And the Ball Lightning actually pushed back there. The rest of the team can join him, but they're going up to the top lane where they continue to chase down the Spirit Breaker. Can't help but feeling like a kill on the Storm Spirit would have been worth a little bit more, but wasn't a kill they can necessarily achieve. Rubik survives with about 60 HP there against Yamate and managed to now grab the Sonic Wave, but immediately gives up his life for it as Yamate blinks back in and gets the Scream kill. Blosom's the next target. He has his Ice Blast up, but doesn't get it off in time. Now an Orchid placed onto the Tusk while Chibix finishes off the Undying jump forward. He does have enough mana to continue these jumps a little bit further. Will be fine for now. Ice Shards up. Chibix runs out of mana now, and Kang finally does get his revenge. Good Glimmer Cape, by the way, from the Winter Wyvern, saving Kang's life in the first place. Miracle's now going to try and catch up to these heroes, see if he can't get a pick off with his ultimate. Ultimate. Oh, Gyrocopter, what a good man to dodge. And now Spirit Breaker is the next one to feed away kills to the Gyrocopter. Just doesn't stop. Kang is actually the one who secured the last hit for the with the Ice Shot.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
And they're just not stopping. They're just going to go back to this tier 2 because they've got the sustain. Arcane Boots mech ready to go. And now an Orchid being placed on Miracle. Ancient Apparition will land a pretty good Ice Blast. They get off the mech beforehand, though, and the Glimmer Cape to make sure that even though the Gyrocopter is hit by the Ice Blast, he's not going to take any impending damage from first departure. So.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Charge in, Yamate, he's got a BKB, so they need to try and chain stun him as best as they possibly can. Orchid and the ultimate out from the Spirit Breaker does ensure that Queen of Pain goes down without popping that magic immunity. Ooh, Miracle, he blinked right on top of the tusk there in order to go for the bounty rune. And may actually be caught out. Winter's Curse is ready to go, but the rest of the team wasn't there. The damage-dealing duo of Undying and Gyrocopter
Radiant's top tower is
couldn't
under
get there in
attack.
time. His tier 2 tower at bottom lane now is going to go down.
Radiant's top
Not
tower
so
is
long
under
ago,
attack.
1, 2, 3 tried to push in and got a messy team fight around this tier 2 tower. This time around, they'll claim it for free. Chibix, meanwhile, actually managed to take the tier 1 tower at top.
Radiant's middle tower
Quick
is
ball
under
lightning
attack.
away, TP out, and he's good. Miracle now trying to fight for the tier 1 middle as well, but the Undying not afraid to let go of the tombstone just to make sure the anti-mage doesn't get any more siege damage on it. Minerva now going to run into Pelosin, but there's nothing really here unless Pelosin... Yeah, maybe he does go down here. He's got more shards. Winter's Curse. Oh, Minerva didn't get it off in time and actually hit by the stun there of the Cold Feet. Charge coming up. Spirit Breaker goes for Yamate, who pops the BKB. They actually successfully get that one out. And everyone else is going to survive, it seems. Unless... Oh, snowball in. Chibix actually has enough mana to be able to get away from this one, so he's still fine. Successful BKB. Forced out there. Ben...
Radiant's bottom
Well, he
tower
runs into the
is under
animation.
attack.
Not much they can do there. So go ahead and 5 man up to that tier 2 tower. It's fine. Take the last of these outer towers by 25 minutes. Gyrocopter now operating with a ultimate orb. Is this going to be a second item Scotty? Seems like it very well could be. Charge in. Yamate's the choice. They know he doesn't have BKB, and that's exactly why the Ice Blast lands on him. They burst him down successfully. The Snow managed to save Minerva there. They go onto Pelosin with it, and now try and stop these heroes. Lock down Chibix, but it's the TP away from Ancient Apparition that will make sure that everybody lives. Chibix even has enough ball lightning mana in order to stay ahead of the rest of these heroes. Kang is actually offering an escape for the Spirit Breaker, but never mind. He actually goes down to the last couple of right clicks. Chibix turns around, goes for the Orchid. Snowball play onto Kang. He will end up dying to the Orchid. Chibix still has enough mana to get up the cliff. Never mind, no he doesn't. He dies now to the Undying last decay shot, who's going to chase down Loving now. He's got the Ice Shards, and Undying is a beast with so many decay stacks, but changes his mind. Ice Blast will land on the Undying, and think of how many decay stacks he does have. Goes for the last play. The Orchid doesn't quite get it. Ravi Burn, TP out from Minerva, and a TP out from Ben. They both do escape. Messy fight, though. Through and through for 1, 2, 3. As now we have a Manta for Miracle. That tier 2 tower didn't even take a lick of damage at top lane. In fact, with this double damage rune, First Departure going to be able to take Roshan. Things are falling apart for 1, 2, 3. An unbelievable rune spawn there that just might get them this early Roshan. Oh man, it's going to be the double damage tune. It's very close. Yamate's actually going to come forward, gets off the Orchid. Gyrocopter throws out the ultimate. They do get the Aegis onto Chibik. Snowball actually saves the Queen of Pain. A big Ice Blast is going to come right through, but they've already taken out 4 members, and the 4th is going to come back now with Chibik's grabbing that Aegis from earlier. So despite the fact that it was the double damage that allowed First Archer to get Aegis in the first place, doing Aegis actually put them in a really bad spot. And now 1, 2, 3 taking out 3 different heroes, eliminating that Aegis as well. Dire did actually get the Roshan kill, so at the very least there's that, right? Problem is, they've got some allies down. Good 15 seconds. This means 1, 2, 3 will get at least a small amount of chip damage on this tier 3 tower.
Middle tower is under attack.
Chibik's trying to find his angle of entry here, but the tier 3 tower is dropping fast. Glyph used, and Animage up another 4 seconds. 1, 2, 3 are not going to contest just yet. A little bit surprised with the bottom lane pushing in. They maybe could have gotten a lot more tower damage out because of the bottom lane having so many creeps in, but they didn't want to take a risk at a bad team fight. Things have kind of been a little bit off. And besides, they've got some late game items going to be flowing in. Ben still needs his Scotty. He's got another 2k gold. Almost has that second ultimate orb. Queen of Pain, 1600 gold. Not really anything you're going to see soon out of the Queen of Pain. Maybe a small stat item. You go for like the ultimate orb into the Scythe of Ice for now. But if they plan to fight in the next 4 or 5 minutes or so, Queen of Pain is not going to have a new item. Solar Crest was just recently picked up by our Undying. Obviously a huge upgrade for our Gyrocopter, who's already pretty damn stacked, sitting at 12k net worth. Especially with a very, I would say, late game build in this sort of stat-focused mana into Scotty. They're going to try and complete this Scotty by taking the tier 2 tower now at top lane, presuming that First Departure are not going to contest them for it. It seems like they are right. There's an Ice Blast, but that's about it. So instead, Miracle and the rest of First Departure are going to go for split push. They take the bottom tier 1 tower. Chibik is going to start threatening the middle tier 2 tower as well. 1, 2, 3 will back up to defend. And so just a tier 1 for a tier 2, the trade-off that we mentioned earlier on in the game. Look at that, there's that ultimate orb for Yamate. Another 1,000 gold on him. So if they really want to wait for a Scythe of Ice, it'll be a long time coming. Meanwhile, the Gyrocopter's Scotty is just about a 600 gold away. Tusk is always sitting on Ben at this point in the game because they know how much a necessity it is for the Gyrocopter to continue farming. So they want to make sure he doesn't get picked off. He's always ready to go with the blink snowball to save Ben's life. Especially since he doesn't have a BKB. It's kind of defenseless if he doesn't have his team with him. Our Animage is farming up and farming up fast. He's already got a Vlad's Manta, 3.2k gold on top of that. So this could be an early BKB potentially. Holding on a buyback, probably a must at this point in the game. Storm Spirit almost has a BKB, despite being a little bit lower on the net worth chart there. BKB will be a pretty big upgrade. Okay, maybe I was wrong about Yamate. I mean, they finish up the Scotty now, but if they want to wait, I mean, it's hard to say, okay, keep waiting, but if they want to wait for another 2,000 gold, Queen of Pain will have a Scythe of Ice. Animage always on the lookout for a pickoff. Thought about going on Minerva there, but no, what chance. Guardian Greaves could be the next pickup of the toss, but looks like he wants to go for a Lotus Orb first. He's got the Ring of Health to build into it anyway. And time for a secondary push uphill. The last time they did, they brought the tower down to about half HP. Gyrocopter see if he can complete this one. Yamate's going to be the first target, but a great snowball save, which actually dodges the Ice Blast, and that is huge. Winter's Curse actually gets laid in, locks down the Storm Sphere. Meanwhile, a beautiful Ice Shards in the background ensures that the rest of the supports don't escape either. Disastrous team fight for first departure as they lose 4. A buyback already on the Rubik, but the rest of the team don't have theirs, and Miracle isn't really sure what to do as he only has his BKB and no buyback to operate with either. Good Ice Shards once again, catches out Lubby. Glimmer Cape will help him survive. Yamate's the target here, throws out the ultimate from Miracle, but it's still not enough to finish off anybody. Take that back. Tusk actually is the first one to fall. Yamate, well, maybe this isn't the position he wanted to be in. Jesus, so much damage out from Miracle. They're going to go back in. Ben challenging Miracle in order to get through him to the Rubik. Miracle bounces back, though. Just trying to get this chip damage. Gyrocopter actually lands this one on Lubby. Secondary shot isn't going to go in, though. And this team just needs to back up, man. Spirit Breaker charging all the way through. They should survive. Yeah, Minerva knows what's coming. Even if he did stay inside the fountain, I don't think he dies there. So, a pretty good team fight there for 1, 2, 3. Next team fight, if it happens soon, will be kind of a game ender if First Departure lose it. At least I think so anyway. Maybe they can farm up buybacks sooner than I anticipate. At least the Animage certainly can. Storm Spirit? Unlikely unless they get some pretty big pickoffs. That Scythe of Ice is coming in for Yamate, and coming in fast. He's got 2,800 gold on top of the Ultimate Orb. MKB next item for Ben. It seems like he's got the Demon Edge at ready, so maybe they wait for everyone to pick up their items. Oh, there's the Scythe of Ice. Never mind, Queen of Pain's ready. So smoke up the 4 of them. They're going to go for a Scythe pickoff on the Storm Spirit here. It's funny, this is the item progression. This is actually the ideal item progression that I'm talking about for the Queen of Pain. Scythe of Ice catches out Jivix, and they get a secondary kill on Lubby as well. Not afraid to use that Winter's Curse for the extra kill. They get both of them over to Yamate, and they see the TP out from the Ancient Apparition. Can't stop it. Anyway, so this is what happens when a Queen of Pain is ahead of a Storm Spirit. She picks up Orchid first, picks off the Storm Spirit a couple times, slows down the Orchid in order for Queen of Pain to get a closer jump on the BKB. Then once you have the BKB advantage of the Storm Spirit, you still win that 1 versus 1. Then Storm Spirit gets a BKB, but then your next item progression is going to be Scythe of Ice. Finally, Storm Spirit gets a Scythe of Ice, and that's sort of like the end of the back and forth between the two of them. But this is sort of like the picture-perfect game of showing how Queen of Pain can stay ahead of the Storm Spirit in order to always counter him.
Dire's structures are fortified.
Mid laner Axe is going to go down. Miracle's actually coming from behind with an Invis rune. Meanwhile, as we scroll all the way out, we can see the very staggered approach that 1, 2, 3 have. Jump in, they're going to go for Jivix, grabbing Minerva, trying to make sure he doesn't get off that ultimate. He has another 20 seconds. Glimmer Cape goes off and he will survive. Kang, though, not as lucky. Meanwhile, Tootie gets off his ultimate. The Spirit Breaker locks down the Gyrocopter for a short period of time, but it's not quite enough. Miracle battling it out, does have another blink in order to get away. Good Ice Blast coming in. Only hits the Undying, unfortunately. Yamate gets snagged by that one as well. Miracle on his way out, but a rocket is on hot pursuit. A heat-seeking missile from the Gyrocopter. Miracle is going to have to try and dodge this one. Actually tries to turn around, blinks into the team, but now Winter's Curse placed on one of the illusions. Make sure the Miracle doesn't go anywhere. It will be pretty quickly right-clicked down by the Gyrocopter. This now means an MKB is on its way, but perhaps more importantly, the Animage is dead. Time for First Departure to utilize one of those buybacks. 1, 2, 3 are going to try and force it here by pushing in the bottom lane. Tier 3 tower. Ben is first one uphill.
Tower is under attack.
They know that Animate still has his ultimate. Ice Blast probably going to be coming in soon. Ice Blast does actually manage to grab two of them. BKB already operated by Yamate. Glimmercade for Ben. He looks okay. Now he's got Miracle on top of him though. He's dropping low quite fast. There goes the ultimate. Manages to push off the Gyrocopter. He's dead, and there goes the large swords. The damage out from... Oh, wow. What a force staff out there from Lubby. Clearing through the trees and revealing the Queen of Pain, who was just trying to TP out, but one quick swipe from Miracle actually ensures that the Queen of Pain drops to the Ice Blast. Now top lane is pushing in, but that's going to go down. And Roshan, it's a late Roshan, but this also means first departure. No, Roshan should be up. And if they get this, this could be the start of a comeback. One, two, three. Doesn't look like, boy. I mean, trying to force the buyback there, the standard idea, but I didn't really realize that Roshan was coming back up. That's a bit of a shame. They really should have just tried to go for Roche, I think. Of course, they might not have been in a good position because it was such a late Roshan, but still. You just take average RNG of Roche time and just be like, okay, he's got to be coming up soon, unless we're really unlucky, so... Let's try and do that. Sigil will spy out Miracle trying to solo up Roshan. He hasn't done much of a dent to him. Sigil needs to go a little bit farther down so it's only hearing Miracle and not Roshan. Faster Roshan attacks. The slower Miracle will do this 1 versus 1 as he gets constantly bashed up. And 1, 2, 3 are actually good. I'm really surprised that despite the 40-second window that First Departure had, Roshan is not taken by them. And now 1, 2, 3 have their chance to contest. Ancient Apparition has that Aghanim Scepter. Oh boy. This could be a deadly one, especially since, oh, no MKB still on Gyrocopter since he died in that last fight. Pretty significant damage exchange. The 46 to, what, 100 damage coming out from MKB? Like, it's 88 damage plus 100 mini-bash damage every 35%. Also, an attack speed increase, so I would say the flat damage is close to 100. 100 damage per second. Well, Gyrocopter, this is kind of an all-in move, in a way. He just bought the MKB as they're trying to do Roshan. If they lose Roshan here, for some reason don't get the Aegis, this would be incredibly bad. And First Departure are kind of centering up to defend. They smoked up. They spanned out a couple of Ancient Apparition Ice Vortexes to get vision inside the pit. Both teams just trying to keep their eye on the whole entire situation now. Smoke was popped. Gyrocopter actually reveals himself on the neutrals, but 1, 2, 3 are actually going to go straight uphill here. Pelosin gets revealed. They manage to get the Ninth of Ice on him. They really need to control Pelosin, but he don't manage to get it. Now that the Winter's Curse gets laid out on Chivix, they get a big kill there. Ice Blast does land on a few heroes. And a buyback out from the Spirit Breaker, but Miracle's not in a position to take advantage of that Ice Blast. No, is there really enough damage anyway?
Radiant's top tower.
They go back to trying to do Roshan. Yamate is the charge. 2 different buybacks, and immediately 1, 2, 3 back themselves away from Roshan, leaving at about a third of his HP.
Top tower is under attack.
This is all in for First Departure. 1, 2, 3. They win this fight. Oh, and a double damage too.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
This could be big. This could actually be allowing him to man up solo against Roshan. Or if the Ice Blast misses, yep, that only hits the husk. Now it's a perfect opportunity for 1, 2, 3 to go inside, because without Ice Blast, I don't think they kill this Gyrocopter fast enough, and he's got the double damage. If they don't chain stun him down and kill him, he's going to turn that double damage Flak Cannon into a disaster. Miracle jumps in, grabs the Aegis, actually stolen away from Ben, and even managed to, no, he actually didn't kill the Roshan. Meanwhile, an ultimate goes laid out, Queen of Pain is already gone. The team with their BKBs are not enough for Roshan. Oh my god, not Roshan, double damage. Gyrocopter, man. He's too much. Flosa managed to get a TP away. So yes, Animage grabbed got a kill on the Queen of Pain and managed to get out, but it's him and him alone that has to defend. Now, the other two core First Departure are dead without buybacks.
Dire's bottom
So him and the support see what they can do. They do have an Ice Blast ready to go. Gyrocopter's got to be careful. Ice Blast is already coming in, and it will land. Van is actually now caught by the telekinesis. Miracle comes in to try and finish him off. Snowball to save the Gyrocopter. Will be able to get off his ultimate and some damage. Winter's Curse blow on the Rubik. Miracle's controlled, and he will actually go down, losing his Aegis and Ben. Well, he ends up going down in the end to the Ice Blast, but now Miracle's left alone against 3. Looks like abandoned ship as 1, 2, 3 are just going to leave their poor Undong to die. Yeah, he's dead. No TP out for
Dire's
him.
middle tower is under attack.
So they took away the Aegis. There's no buyback from the Spirit Breaker, no buyback from the Storm Spirit. They didn't get any objective though, and the Animage's buyback is up in 1 minute. So this is still a very even game, despite the fact that this net worth, and I say even, in that 1, 2, 3 are very obviously ahead, but they've been ahead by about the same amount for the last 10 minutes or so. So no clear advantage is being gained. Yes, the game is going later, but so too is 1, 2, 3 gaining more of a net worth lead over First Departure. And Animage is he's far from being one of the hardest late game carries in the game. Usually his advantage is being able to max out by about 45 minutes, 45, maybe 55 minutes. Obviously this game's a lot tougher for Miracle. But maxing out and pretty much ending the game real quickly because he's been farming with a Battle Fury for the last 20 minutes. But instead, he's now having to deal with a Gyrocopter who is always one step ahead of him in net worth. MKB at the ready, 2,200 gold on top of that one. Looks like attempted pickoff from Chibix going for some members of 1, 2, 3. Not catching them, and Yamate. Balls of steel, I guess. He is pretty damn tanky. It almost looks like, is he going Lincolns? He might go Lincolns to protect against the Animage's ultimate, and if that doesn't work, he will stop like the Orchid or the Pole from the Storm Spirit or even Telekinesis. Those are all kind of deadly single target disables for Queen of Pain. So even if they aren't big time ultimates, a Lincoln's would still be a very fair pickup.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
No waiting for Roshan. They are gonna push in once again. First Departure, though, already have a plan. Miracle's pushing in at top lane, taking that tier 2 tower. But he doesn't go for the tier 3 right away. I'm surprised. He had more time to work with, but he actually backs up to defend instead of forcing his enemy into a faster push, essentially. He's almost got Abyssal Blade, but he needs to hold on to buyback, which is back up now, by the way. Lotus Orb and Solar Crest. Pretty typical push that you're about to see. They're going to put those two buffs onto the Gyrocopter. And he's going to start whittling away at that tier 3 tower. Now, immediately Miracle makes the jump in order to try and force Miracle. Oh, wow, we actually get Winter Curse, and there goes Miracle. He's down for 100 seconds. Buyback is going to be imminent, though. BKB Spirit Breaker charges right through 2 of them. They manage to lock down the Gyrocopter with the help of the Storm Spirit. They get the kill, and now it's 1, 2, 3 trying to get out with as many heroes alive as humanly possible. Looks like our Tuss is going to be going down here to the chase of the Storm Spirit, as well as the Animage. Blink away, K immediately hit by the decay, doesn't get out, so they lose the Gyrocopter and the Tuss. They forced another buyback though. Next buyback is coming up. Spirit Breaker and Storm Spirit. My god, I don't think you can plan it any better. Both of their buybacks are up in a minute and a half. So by the time the Gyrocopter's alive and they push uphill again, there's still going to be some buybacks available for First Departure. Spirit Breaker doesn't look like he's going to have his, but Chibix probably will hold on to his. He's got 2,300 gold. I doubt he's going to spend it on anything anytime soon, especially since the Scythe of Ice is nowhere near. So again, more and more of a goal lead being established for 1-2-3. General advantage with the Animage being forced to use his, and especially since it lasts so long, by the way. That was a 100-second death timer on him because the last time he died, he bought back. So 100 seconds where he's got this buyback gold penalty. So he's not actually recovering his gold very quickly at all. Once he does have it, though, he will invest into the Abyssal Blade, I'm sure. Ancient Apparition also has a buyback. That's pretty important because he's probably going to be target number 1 if he's too far forward. And then he could just buy it back, and as their 1, 2, 3 are overextended, they'll be hit by a pretty good Ice Blast. Smoke up from 1, 2, 3. They really want this pick off on Pelosin, and it's not really where First Departure can afford to lose here. His buyback isn't going to be worth that much. Tivix actually jumps in, and he's immediately downed out as the Winter's Curse gets placed on him, and he does not have a buyback. No buyback because he's missing out on gold. Oh no, he bought an ultimate orb. I said he wasn't going to buy anything because he wouldn't have a buyback, and sure enough, what does he do? He buys something. And now we're going to see him pay for that one, is easily taking that bottom ranks. 1, 2, 3. Secure it. And either go for the tier 4s here or head up to top. It looks like they're going to go for the easier option of taking the tier 3 top. So there goes the tier 3 tower. First Departure have to force it here. Lotus Orb being placed on the Gyrocopter preemptively. BKB activated by him as he now turns and fights Miracle. Push back there from the Spirit Breaker. He's going to try and lock down the Gyrocopter as best he can, but a good snowball save as they go for Pelosin in the background. Ben's going to run out of that Ice Blast soon. Frostbitten, can they actually shatter him in time? A little bit more damage is all they need, but the Frostbitten has faded, and now Ben gets to heal back up. GG is called First Departure. Not sure if they ever would have made the comeback after such a rough start, but either way, the last team fight seemed to have been decided there with the bot Ultimate Orb and Chibix running right into a Winter's Curse and a Winter Wyvern like that. Excellent play through and through, and we now have our second Southeast Asian team that's going to be making it from the playoffs into the joinDOTA MLG Pro League Season number 3. It is 1, 2, 3. Congratulations to them, and congratulations to you guys who tuned in to watch such epic games.